In the 1980s, Kansas City would hum with a Midwestern vitality, and it would soon have to weather a storm under its surprisingly vibrant surface. Robert Berdella was nothing so unusual as the owner of an antique shop, only that he kept an ugly secret and would soon unravel it into what would become one of the most horrible crime sprees in American history. Robert Berdella, or Bob as everyone knew him in Kansas City, was a prominent feature of the Westport district. He was an old alternative curiosity shop, Bob's Bazaar, that offers something different for artists, curators, and drifters. With those round glasses and benign look, it was hard to imagine Berdella anything but harmless. A good neighbor who partied with fellow residents and donated funds to the local charities. But he cultivated another, rather different collection behind closed doors: human misery. Berdella's unremarkable red brick house on Charlotte Street served as a tomb for at least 6 young men from 1984 to 1987. He preyed on vulnerable drifters and drug addicts. He offered them a job, drugs, or a place to sleep welcome inside. He slipped drugs into their coffee and chained them to a bed frame in his soundproof basement. For weeks, he would subject his victim to unimaginable torture, electroshocks, forcible injection of tranquilizers for animals, and grotesque experiments documented in journals. Bella took photographs of his victims and wrote clinical notes of Atkins to some mad scientist. Subject 3, 400 milligram tyrosine administered. Focal resistance ceased. On April 2nd, 1988, 22-year-old Chris Bryson staggered onto Charlotte Street, half conscious and naked, with a dog chain around his neck. Except for his gasp, "Pub's gonna kill me," which made people stop associating him with the meaning neighbor, were quick to picture him as another burnt-out junkie. His arrest led police to Bella's home, where they found Polaroid of victims and tortured instruments. They did discover a ledger entitled "Experiments in Pain." Digging a little deeper into the wooden floorboards, they found human bones. Bella's arrest peeled away even more layers of depravity. He confessed to killing 6 men, though some argue even more, dismembering their bodies in his bathtub and throwing away the remains in trash bags. He combed through his meticulous records, all including a victim's severed teeth kept as trophies. He chillingly stated during the trial, "I viewed them as objects, not people." He entered the guilty plea avoiding capital punishment, and then went on to receive a life sentence in prison when he suffered a heart attack in 1992. It raises a haunting question: how a man so thoroughly embedded in the community could remain undetected for years. His story points to just how plausible and thus terrifying the durability of the identity really is. Presently, true crime scholars cite him as heralding the new breed of serial killers, a strong reminder the monsters routinely lie in wait. Now the red brick house on Charlotte Street lay in ruin, but not its history. The memory of the nightmare that was in the city will linger as the city